not even mean Bowers game for me.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out the Super Mario Bros. Power-Up card game from USAopoly. This is for 3 to 8 players, take about 10 to 30 minutes to play, and it's for ages 8+. And in the Super Mario Bros. Power-Up card game, you are going to get 4 health points. You're going to be playing as Mario, presumably, and trying not to lose your health points. You will lose your health points by having the lowest level score each round out of all the different players. But along the way, you're going to be trading cards. There's going to be block cards which will modify and do all sorts of zany things like that. It's light, it's simple, but is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to go over what comes inside the Super Mario Bros. Power-Up card game. So first and foremost, we're going to get a handy dandy rule booklet, 11 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples, and it's very well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all, so big thumbs up on the rule booklet. Also, it's a pretty simple game, so I can teach you how to play right now. So in the Super Mario Bros. Card game, what you're going to do is you're going to start with 4 of these little health tokens right here. And you are going to play a series of rounds. And each round, you are going to try to not have the lowest level card in front of you. If you have the lowest level card in front of you, you are going to lose 1 of your health. Luckily, though, you're going to have some of these block cards, which will help you modify these level cards potentially, which can help you out. What am I talking about? Let's go over the components, then we'll get into the gameplay. So first, we got these level cards. You're going to get 1 of these each round. They are numbered 1 through 12, and they'll have various different images from the original Super Mario Bros. On it. There's also a couple very special cards, which are called castle cards. And if you get a castle card, you're in luck. You will absolutely not lose this round. You revealed the castle card immediately. You get to draw one of these special block cards, which will help you out later in the game, and you just can't lose a health. So getting a castle is absolutely fantastic. Now, on the other side, there's going to be these block cards right here. These are special ability cards that will allow you to do a variety of different things. So this one will add +1 to a level, -1 to a level. This one will let you look at somebody's card before you decide if they trade it. Lava bubble, so this one makes someone else lose a health. The 1-up lets you steal a health from another player. The green shell makes you force another player to discard one of their block cards at random. So they will do a variety of different things. When you first start the game, you are going to start with 4 health and 1 of these block cards, and then you'll decide who the dealer is. And the dealer is going to deal out 1 level card secretly to each player. Then the left of the dealer is going to start. So we'll start with the left of the dealer. Let's take a look at their card. They have a 6. That's pretty good. It goes from 1 to 12. So he might, say, you know what, I'm going to keep this card. I'm not going to trade, which means now it would go to this player right here. So he has a 10. He's obviously very, very happy. The numbers only go up to 12. He's going to go ahead and keep that as well. This player is looking here. He's, oh man, a 5. So he's in that weird middle ground. So what he's going to do is he's going to trade. So you can trade with the player to your left, and only with the player to your left. They do not have a choice in the matter unless they have a special card. So he's going to, boop, trade with me. Now, I'm the dealer. I look down and I got a 5 now. I just gave him a 7, so I know I am probably hosed in this scenario. Luckily, though, you're not completely out of the game, because if you're the dealer, you always have the option to trade with the top card of the deck. So despite the fact I'm getting rid of a 5, which is a somewhat decent card, I'm going to do this. So I discard this card right here, and then I draw the top card of the level card of the level deck, and now we're all going to reveal. So 4, 7, 10, and 6. So right now it's pretty cut and dry. I am going to lose a health because I have the lowest number out here. But let's take a look, see if there's any modifiers I could play. Ooh, this would make it so that he would go to 4 as well, which means he would now lose a health and I would both lose a health. But that doesn't really seem like a great way to spend this card right now, so I probably would just bite the bullet and just take the health damage. Let's do one more round and let's set it up so you can see one other scenario that can play out. So now the dealer's going to pass to the left. So now this player is the dealer. So he's going to deal out 4 cards, level, and now this guy's going to go first. So he's got an 8. He's very content with his 8. He said, I'm not trading my card. 10, this person's also probably not trading his card. 8, I'm probably not trading my card. And he has a 9, so he's probably not trading his card. At this point, we're all a little bit nervous, but we're all going to reveal. So we reveal 8, 9, 8, 10. So right now we've come under one special circumstance. if at any point during the game, two people reveal their cards and they naturally have a match. So, for instance, I have an 8 and the dealer has an 8. So both these players have an 8, and they both gain one of these cards. Even if they would lose the round, they still get to gain one of those cards. It's one of the unique quirks about the game. So looking around, there's 2 8s, which means we both are about to lose a health. So this is the point where I'd say, you know what, that's not going to happen. I'm actually going to go ahead and modify this guy's cards, and I'm going to make that a 7. So I help both of us out, buddy. You're welcome. So this person would probably look at their cards, and they'd say they have a 9-2, and they'd say, ha, spite. I'm going to make that a 6. And now at this point, I'm like, oh, man, I probably should have messed with this guy over here. And once again, I would lose a health because I would have a 6 to this person's 7, and I would not be in a very good position. But the deal is going to continue to pass. Eventually, you will get to the point where someone gets knocked out of the game. When someone gets knocked out of the game, they're just out of the game because this is a player elimination game. You will continue to go until someone is the only person left who has little Mario health points, at which point they will be the winner of Super Mario Bros. The power-up card game. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Super Mario Bros. The power-up card game from USAopoly. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. 3 to 8 players is a fantastic player count, but once you get to those higher player counts, the game really gets too long, especially when you're playing 7 and 8 players. The game takes a while because everybody else has to get eliminated. There's only going to be one winner, which means you're going to play, let's see, 8 times 4, you're going to be playing 31 rounds of this, which also brings out the fact that this game can be repetitive. You're not going to do too much on your turn. It's either, oh, I'm not going to trade, or I am going to trade, and then once you trade, it's like, hey, I'm going to play this card, the block cards, and you might not even have block cards. So the game does have a repetitive aspect to it. Another con that I had at the higher player counts was it really defines the player elimination. So if the game goes long and it goes 40 minutes or something like that, that's not a huge deal as long as everybody's actively involved in the game. But since this game has player elimination, that player elimination is really spotlighted when you're playing at the higher player counts. I'll give you a good example. So in a 3 or 4 player version of the game, you're the first person knocked out. You might sit there another 4 or 5 minutes waiting for the game to restart or waiting for everybody to get done. Now, in an 8-player version of the game, if you're the first person to get knocked out and you're unfortunate enough to get knocked out early, you're going to sit there for 15, 20, 25 minutes waiting for the game to get over so you can join back in, and that's just not that much fun. So, there we go. We're done talking about the player count. Now, let's talk about the theme itself. I love the theme, and I'm going to tell you I'm a big fan of this theme, but the theme does not come across very well. They tried their best with these block cards to make it thematic, but in the end, this is just a game about numbers and trading cards. Doesn't feel like you're Mario, doesn't feel like you're throwing green shells or collecting coins or doing anything like that. It is a simple, very numbery game. This feels like the kind of game that Reiner Knizia would come out with, which means that it's not very thematic. Another comment I have with this game is the fact that it's very light and it's very simple, which is going to be a turn-off for some people. This is a gateway game. This is a family game. I felt like when I taught this to the 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds that I play a lot of games with in my classroom, I could have just let them play this by themselves. So this is even an older children's game, which is going to be good for a lot of people, but you just need to know that coming into it. Any other cons that I have with the game? No, not really that I can think of. Moving on to the pros, as long as you go into this knowing that it's super light, it can be super repetitive, it has player elimination, it doesn't play the best at the higher player counts, I really enjoyed Super Mario Bros. The power-up card game. I thought it was light, fun, simple, easy to learn, easy to teach, and it plays really well with kids. Kids really enjoy this game. And I love the theme on this game. And I'll give you an example. While I told you that the theme does not come across that well, I still love the theme on this game because I feel like it can bring people into the hobby. And I actually had an example of that. So I bring tons and tons of games in my classroom. Obviously, I review games, so, I bring them in, I play them with the kids, and then that's a great way to review them. I had one kid who has never played any games with me. Dexterity games, card game, board games, doesn't matter what the game is. He's never had any interest in playing. The kid doesn't dislike me. I don't dislike the kid. He just does not like to play board games. So, whatever. I brought this in, started to unwrap it. I think we were sitting there eating breakfast. I wasn't eating breakfast. I was just unwrapping this, getting ready to read the rules so I could play with the kids. And he walks up to me and says, "Mr. Forrest, can I play that game with you?" And I was dumbstruck. I was completely dumbstruck because this kid has never wanted to play games with me. And I'm talking about over a 3-year time period. He has had no interest in playing games with me. And he wanted to play games with me because this is Super Mario Brothers. And he loves Super Mario Brothers. And I was like, yeah, of course you could play with me. And he sat there for an hour and a half with me and played this game. We just played it and played it and played it and played it and played it. And he loved it. Not because it was, thematic and he felt like he was Mario. It's just because the theme got him into the game, and the game is fun. Now, I also want to go back to something I said. I told you I didn't like it at the higher player counts. I should mention that I don't think most people are going to like it at the higher player counts. I personally actually did like it at those higher player counts because I love games where one person is the loser from round to round to round. I love the fact that there's 8 people here and it's like, really? Do I have the lowest level? I've got a 4. Oh, come on. I love aspects like that in games, and this one does it very, very well. But most people, I feel, are not going to like that. So I do think it's going to be more popular at the 3, 4, 5, 6 player count as opposed to the 7 and 8. Any other pros I have of the game? Oh, I like the block power-up cards. There's a nice variety of these block power-up cards. Some of them do feel a little bit too powerful from time to time, like the time where you can steal somebody's life, which especially if you save that towards the end of the game is super OP. Oh, one last comment I have with this game are the castle cards. I really like the castle cards. The castle card is a level card, and when you get it, you're supposed to immediately flip it over, and you get to collect one of these block cards, and you cannot be eliminated from that round. And I love the concept of that, especially if you're like down to your last life, and you're like, oh, I got a castle, that's great. But they need to make modify the rules, and we actually made this a house rule where you could not win on the castle cards, because we actually had it happen twice where it got down to just head-to-head, one person versus the other person. They both had 1 life left, and one of the people gets a castle card, and it's just like, hey, game over. And it's just very anticlimactic. A game like Munchkin has a good rule in place where you actually have to slay a monster in order to get that 10th victory point. And I feel like this game should have, you have to not get a castle in order to win the game. But that's more of a minor nitpick. That's what I got. Super Mario Bros. The Power-Up card game is an enjoyable, light, simple, family weight card game, but I feel like it's a little bit more than that. I definitely feel like this is the kind of game that you could play at a party as well, because it's very easy to learn, it's very easy to teach, you can play it standing up. But I do feel like this is a decent game. I know it's a Target exclusive, and I feel like this is a good kind of game to target. I feel like this is the kind of game that it has good rules, it is fun, and this is the kind of game that could potentially lead people to exploring more of the board game hobby. So Super Mario Bros. The Power-Up card game, is it a perfect game? No. It's light, it's simple, it's not going to be for everybody, but for me personally, I enjoyed it, and I'm going to keep it because I plan on playing it in my classroom and with my kids when they get a little bit older. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know what's your favorite Super Mario game of all time. For me personally, I think it's Super Mario... You know what? I'm going to go with Mario Kart for the Game Boy Advance. I have very fond memories of playing that on the bus. We had the little cord that would let you all play it together, even though you only had one cartridge, and we used to jam on that, because we had like a 30-minute ride from my house, from the trailer park where I lived to school, and we used to play that all the stinking time. But let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite Mario Bros. Game of all time? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.